I just want to touch on and expand, I suppose, on that video I did a minute ago about the service. A lot of people say, "Oh, why do you go to Dubai?" I mean, I think we're here 5, maybe 6 times this year, and I guess I've travelled a lot. You've been to a lot of places. No one's been everywhere, obviously, but when you come to Dubai, you get everything you need. I mean, forget the exceptional hotels, the best food you'll probably get, the best variety of food as well. The service is just like no other country. And on the last video I mentioned it again. I watched a TikTok where someone was being interviewed and they hit it. They hit the nail on the head. They said, you go to France or somewhere in Europe and you'll spend 10 grand for a decent hotel for a week, and the hotel will probably be on par with something in Dubai, but likely it won't be as good. And they'll make you feel as if you are doing them a favour by staying there. The service will be absolute. Whereas in Dubai, I mean, you've got people. There's no minimum wage. You've got people who are earning, the lowest form of salary, I guess, you can get in Dubai, and they treat you, unexceptionally excellent all of the time. Never do you have a grumpy receptionist or a pissed off pool boy or a waiter who feels like, he's entitled to a tip, so he doesn't have to go that extra mile. Everyone is just so grateful to be here, and that gratefulness to have this job in this country, it just is just so apparent. And that's why I think the service is just so excellent. And not only that, I was trying to have this conversation with someone who has recently gone to the Maldives, and I'm like, why don't you go to the Maldives? And I'm like, but why do you go to the Maldives? Yeah, okay, the oceans are absolutely crystal clear, and it's an amazing scenery, and you get a really nice pod over the water. But effectively, what you are getting is an island with an all-inclusive buffet. And I cannot stand all-inclusives. Go in there and slobbering shit food on your plate and drinking yourself silly. You might as well do that in your local fucking Wetherspoons. Whereas somewhere like Dubai, you have luxurious beaches. I love the Palm because the beaches are like a natural wave breaker. They're always really calm, lovely for the kids, as opposed to being on the mainland. And you have the choice of going to some of the best restaurants in the world. I mean, yesterday we ate at the Atmosphere in the Burj, and it was like 500 quid for 4 of us to eat there. But to go and visit the Burj as a tourist, I think is about 100 quid each. And we got to experience being, in I think the tallest restaurant in the world with the exceptional views, whilst enjoying what's effectively a 7-star fucking meal. Me and my wife had a taster menu. It's fantastic. And I just think we have the ability to go and choose these amazing places to eat and dine, and instead of being sort of restricted to a group of restaurants in a hotel or a fucking buffet. And it's not just even about the restaurants. Dubai has everything else to offer for the wealthy. You can come here and do anything you want. You can drive a fucking supercar on the water, a supercar boat-shaped boat. It's just incredible. You can, you can do a lot of these things in different parts of the world. And I'm a big fan of Miami. I've done loads of videos about going to Miami. But the other thing, which I suppose underpins everything, and if you're a father traveling with your family, you'll relate to this, is the safety. I mean, you see these videos about people leaving Rolexes and phones and cash on sides of tables and walking off and coming back and it's there. I don't know how true that is. I've never put that to the test, other than when my daughter left her fucking phone, 600 quid phone in a taxi that drove off, and I paid cash, so I couldn't even track it. But there was a guy there, he helped me call the central sort of office. They tracked the taxi from where I was picked up to where I was dropped off. They got through to the taxi driver, and he offered to come and bring me the phone back. And this is a taxi driver, I don't know how much they're earning, but let's say it's like £1,000 a month, which I don't even think it will be that much. I tried to tip that guy like 100 dirhams, which is like 22 quid or whatever. And he would not take it. And he drove all the way to my hotel. And I was staying at the Burj Al Arab at the time, the best, most expensive hotel in Dubai. You know, you would have thought he'd done it because he picked me up from there, so he knew he was going to get a massive tip. He would not fucking take it. I had to convince the doorman, who spoke Arabic, to tell him that I was so grateful. My little girl was so upset to take this tip. And I guess it's just, that's the difference. That's the big difference in Dubai. So with that and that underlying safety, you can come on holiday as a father with a young family and have a break yourself. When you go to fucking Spain and Turkey and all like European destinations and even America, you've always got one eye open on everything else that's going on, just in case. And I know I'm maybe a bit paranoid, but you will hopefully relate to where I'm coming from. And Dubai is the only place I never have to do that. And that, I think, is why, if you haven't been, you should absolutely give it a try. Because there's not many promises, but I promise you one thing. You'll have a great time and you'll never want to go to a European holiday destination ever again.